City. Hey guys, what's up? We're back again with another video on Lauren's channel. At this point, we just have 2 joint channels and just subscribe to both. So today we figured we just eat our dinner slash random Fritos chips non-name branded corn chips that I just threw into my food anyway. And I just figured we talk about school and stuff since we're getting ready to start soon. I'm ready to go back for my 2nd year. Lauren's getting ready to start her year at TayCreates college. So, yeah. What are you most excited about going back to school?
I'm not necessarily excited about going back to school. More being in the city. Okay, well,
that's a great start.
Fabulous start.
But there's nothing you're looking forward to about school? Like, honestly?
Working with kids. The babies.
Little babies. Little preschoolers.
Yeah. And I guess, like, actually using sign language. Even though...
Okay, you didn't do that in your program, really, did you?
No.
I saw your tweet today.
Yeah.
Or yesterday, that you were like, it should be mandatory. Or someone said it should be mandatory, and you were like, it should be mandatory for, like,
all languages, yeah.
That's not
everyone.
mandatory for
No.
all languages?
No.
Wow.
I don't know, it doesn't make sense.
But wouldn't you just, like, expect that to be the thing you should know?
And it's not. My food is cold.
So hard. So is mine. I bought mine like an hour ago.
We just
I ate
got
half of it in
mine.
the car. We did just get yours. Yours should be warm. Especially because it took them the time to make it.
I can't even get this joint open.
Stab it.
I don't want spicy ketchup
Oh, you know.
underneath my nails. What are you looking forward to?
Being done.
Oh yeah. This is her last year. And then you'll go right back to school.
I sure will. In a couple more years after that, though. I want to work first. I've only known school for almost 20 years of my life now. It will be 20 years literally when I graduate because I've been in school since preschool, so since like 3 or 4 years old. So 20 years of my life has only been school. I like to see what else is out there in the world.
Debt.
I'm in debt while in school. That's all the same. You got it? Oh, you did poke it with your nail. It worked though.
I'm mad my burger collapsed.
I'm mad your burger collapsed too. That was sad. And it just happened right away too. These chicken fingers aren't as warm as they were the other day. I'm like, they had farther to travel the other day. And these aren't as warm. Still good though, but not as warm.
My food feels like it's been taken out of the refrigerator.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You can drive back and complain. Get you a new burger.
No.
I would do it. Nobody wants a cold burger.
I'm not looking forward
To school.
to doing work and stuff. It's been a year.
But I don't know how it is with your program. And like, there's work and stuff in my program, but it doesn't feel like a lot to me. Or it doesn't feel like as worky, like as like, oh, I have to do this. Like maybe a lot of reading, yeah, but like also in my career now, I guess I'm supposed to be updated on readings and research. So I'm supposed to do that anyway. Whereas like the actual amount of work I get, like work to do, maybe hits at like the end of the semester, and then it's like all of a sudden it's a paper. But other than that, I feel like I don't do a lot. I don't know if your program would be the same way, but it feels like most of the focus is on your internship, your field work, what you're doing outside of school. Now that's work, because you're getting treated like a slave, doing free labor.
Yeah. And I have no education background.
Oh, that went down really hard. Yeah, it like scraped my throat.
I have no education background, so.
What do you think that's gonna be like? Like the education part. Like, are you excited to teach?
I don't know.
Like what? I'm really sitting here like
I don't
trying to
know.
imagine you as a teacher.
And I
I don't know. I don't know either.
You're supposed to be like, oh, you would be a fabulous teacher. I see you with all the kids. Everyone's favorite teacher. Fabulous. Teacher of the Year awards.
and I
Wow. Wow.
I'll say this. It's not like a thing against you or anything. It's just like that age where you get that like all your friends do things like that and become teachers, and you're like, but I can't see my friends like be teachers. And it's not like a you thing or anything. It's just like every teacher I've had is like really old, and I feel like this is like they have their kids, they have their family, they have this and that. Like I can't see my single friends who I know we're gonna be out in a club or at a bar with, and then like be a teacher. Like that doesn't equate to me. So even with our friend who's a teacher now, I still am like I can't picture her or what she's actually like in the classroom, because I have no idea what that even looks like. Like I know what she's like at a party. Like I know what she's like when we hang out, but I can't see her like in front of a class. But you know she's a good teacher because like her scores and stuff were up. So I know you'd probably be a good teacher and everything too. I just can't see. I can't. I can't see anybody in our friend group being a teacher. I can't see any of us teaching. And we have a teacher in our friend group, and I can't imagine her in the classroom being like, "Hi, my name is so and so. Here we are today. Here's the lesson on so." No, I don't see that. Especially when she be talking about her kids, I don't see it.
I don't know. I think little kids are different, you know? It's not like, I don't want to say impressionable, because it's literally they are at that age.
Yeah.
But it's not like,
Teaching?
yeah, or it's like, I have to learn the lesson. You know what I mean? So,
True.
yeah. And it's little kids. So, it's going to be a lot of the
Them not paying attention
ABCs.
to you.
Yeah. Just chill your ass down.
But it'll be fun, because even
More
last
than
year.
sign language.
True. It'll be fun because, like, last year when I worked with the preschool kids or whatever, and I was assisting in their classrooms and I was helping out the teachers and stuff, it was really just, like, reading them books and then being overly excited about things that you're like, oh my gosh, what's the weather outside? The sun's out. It's sunny. Today is Monday.
Yeah, that's so cute.
And then they do little songs that are like the days of the week and all these other things. They were learning their colors. They learned to, Roy G. Biv. And I was like, oh. So it was weird because I was like, I don't teach. I don't have education. They're like, yeah, but just like, get in there. It's fine.
They have me. And the rest of us counselors from my job. So I worked for this company for like 3 years. Every summer we were camp counselors, but we taught American culture classes to Chinese middle school students. So they would come over and we would dorm at Pace and we do classes at Pace and NYU where we were teaching American culture and we had to come up with our own lessons plans. We had to do everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I did that for 3 years, but imagine. First of all, what?
Y'all can even speak Chinese.
No, none of us.
How do you bridge that gap?
You don't.
I was like, how'd you do that anyway? Like, that's, like...
But they were in middle school and they basically knew English.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No. I lost a kid once. I didn't lose a kid. The company lost a kid.
Whose fault was it?
I don't want to say it was the director's fault.
How'd the kid get lost?
Okay, story time. So, that day, we were taking the kids to the botanical gardens in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. And we were in Phi Dye because we were at Pace.
Oh, that's
so,
hard.
We're across the street from, what is that station? It's one of the newer stations.
Inside it?
Yeah. It's not coming to me. It'll come to me afterwards. But we were literally right across the street from like a major subway station. So we were going
Chambers?
Yes. Yeah, so we were right across from Chambers. In my head I was like Canal. Mm-hmm. Canarsie.
I go to Phi Dye a lot. No, I go to Phi Dye a lot. So I was going through the stations in my head. I'm like, Chambers.
Yeah, Chambers Street. So let's say there's 22 kids. I forget how many kids it was. Mm-hmm. So we each had assigned kids. So we had like maybe 7 or 8 kids that were like ours to really be accountable for. Mm-hmm. So there's this one little girl. We called her Madonna. Or she said her name was Madonna, so we called her Madonna. Okay. Anyway, she was like this little cute little girl, so cute. Like she spoke the most English. She was so cute. She was so bubbly. Anyway, so we funnel all the kids across the street into Chambers. My best friend of the program, well, we all best friends, so it was 4 of us. So the other girl's name is Melanie. Mm-hmm. And so she like hurt her ankle or her knee at the time, and she was on crutches, so she didn't come. So she was still in the dorm. Okay. So, you know, every time someone's going through, we're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, you know, we're like, cool. Everybody is in the subway station. Everybody made it past. Like, we're just getting on the train.
Oh gosh, that's where you lose people all the time.
So we get all the way to the Bronx, all right? We're walking into the place. Our director has the tickets in her hand.
Jeez.
So she is counting and giving tickets as they're going through. So she counts, what did I say, how many kids, 22 or something? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, so everyone's like, okay, everybody's here. Yeah. So we take our 7, 8 kids, you know, whatever. Oh, this was when we had, so at this time we were senior camp counselors because they hired other people too.
Oh, to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so we were like, oh no, we the original 4, like, nah, we above y'all. Right. So it wasn't one of our kids, it was someone else's kids. So everyone takes their 8 kids and we go about our business. So us 4, of course, it was 3 because Melanie was home. Us 3, we all went together and we took our kids, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, someone comes around and is like, we're missing a kid. We're missing a kid. And so we're like, how are we missing a kid if we counted them all and we gave out all the tickets? Right. So they're like, we can't find her. We can't find her. So we're all freaking out because Botanical Gardens is huge.
Y'all, it's big.
These kids don't speak English.
Oh, God.
They're literally on a trip from China. They're not from here.
Oh no.
If you lose one of them, you're not finding
them.
No,
that's
it. It's over.
How you call them?
Exactly.
That's it.
Someone has to tell somebody's parent that we don't lost their child in America. So everyone is like,
can you imagine getting that phone call? Hi, I'm so sorry. Your daughter was at camp and we lost her today. Somewhere
In
in
New York
between
City.
Manhattan and the Bronx. There's no way to contact her. We'll let you know. But the authorities find out, like, bruh.
So we're freaking out. We're running through the park. We called like the security and everything. Like people were riding around in golf carts trying to find her, like screaming out her name. They're like, oh, she has WhatsApp. So we're all like texting her, trying to call her, blah, 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 blah. She's not responding.
Oh, God.
So then while we're searching for this kid, someone has to be in charge of the rest of the kids. Like, no, everyone has to come together and we all need to sit down. So we were trying to sit them down in the grass and the security's coming over. Excuse me, you guys can't sit in the grass. And we're like, we actually are trying to find a kid.
Right.
Like, we need one place to have all these kids to sit down and, you know, whatever. So they're screaming at us. And so they're like, you can stand, but you can't sit. So I'm like, so all the kids are like standing and they're like moaning and whining and because they're middle schoolers and everything. So then I'm like, what if she never made it to the Bronx? What if she's still on the bus? Because you had to take the bus.
You guys had to take the bus? Oh,
yeah,
no.
we had to take the subway and then we had to get off and get on the bus.
Oh, no.
What if she's still on the bus? What if she never got off the subway? Like, what do we do? So, everyone's like, Melanie's still at home. Melanie's still at home. Like, call her, see if did she ever like come out of the room? Because maybe she didn't come down.
Right.
So we're calling Melanie, and I just hear Melanie like groaning and stuff because she's injured. She's on crutches.
Oh, God.
So she's like banging at the door and like screaming like, hello, is anyone here? And she's banging at everyone's door. And she's like, no, it's completely silent. I don't think she's here. So we're like,
we lost a kid?
I'm going to jail.
Yep.
So.
Oh, y'all going to jail.
Going to jail!
Period! But, so we're like, we need you to go into the subway and try and find her. So she's like, oh my God. And the elevators and the escalators weren't working because they just opened up the thing.
How do you even find somebody in the subway to send somebody down there and be like, what we gonna do? What? But she could have been at any stop.
I know.
Anyway,
we were hoping she
train.
didn't get on the train.
I was like, at like any train.
Exactly. We were hoping that she didn't get on the train.
Okay, keep going.
But of course, we had these things over and over again where it's like, if you were on the subway and everyone gets off and you notice you're still on the subway, get off at the next stop. And just stand at the platform. Because...
That's it.
So we're like hoping that she's at that one or the next one. So Melanie is trying to hobble down the steps because, like I said, it just opened, so the escalators and elevators weren't working. She's on crutches. And so she's like looking, and I hear her screaming out the name. No one's responding. She's like, I don't think she's here. So then she goes into the bathroom. Meanwhile, this is like a good 3-hour event that we're looking for this girl. She goes into the bathroom. Homegirl's just chilling in the bathroom on her phone. So I hear Melanie like, what happened? She's like, I had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom and I came back out and nobody was here. And so we were like, thank God you stayed at the platform.
Oh,
thank God she stayed at the platform. But then we were like, why didn't you just go back to the room? She's like, yeah, it's across the street. And I was like, yeah, you could have just went back to the room too. She's like, I'm like,
all that because she had to pee.
Because she had to pee. She didn't tell anyone she had to pee.
She didn't tell anybody she had to.
No, she just went.
You know what? Kids are stupid. She had to pee. That whole thing happened because she had to pee.
Because she had to pee. We thought we really lost her. How are we gonna find her? In New York City. A little Chinese girl who barely speaks English. how are we gonna find her?
You wouldn't have.
Exactly. So I'm like, so we had a big meeting
Oh my gosh.
after that. It's like, you have to say something. You can't just go anywhere. You can't.
And especially in all places, New York, and then in all places of New York, to do that at a subway. You're gonna try that at a subway station?
Fide-eye to the Bronx. Anywhere in between she could have been. We were looking for that girl for 3 hours. And it took like, what, an hour and a half to get there?
I was about to say, I live in the Bronx and I go to Friday every weekend. That's an hour and 15-minute train ride, taking the one from one end to the other. It's literally about an hour and a half train ride.
So the girl was just chilling for 4 hours.
No. I'd be so mad.
We were like, all right, round them up. Time to go. This show is over.
Did you guys at least get to go into the gardens?
No, we were in the gardens. That's why we were searching for her in the garden for 3 hours. Because the director said everybody was here because I gave out all the tickets.
So who should give the extra ticket to? So was one kid just not going to have a ticket?
I guess.
There's a lot of questions I have then. Because then was one kid not going to have a ticket? Who should give the extra ticket to? Who was the counselor in charge of that girl's group?
I think we got her fired.
I was going to say, because shouldn't you, like, know which kids are yours?
Yeah.
And you should know their names and have their thing.
Those new counselors always was losing kids. Never like that, where it's like we have no idea where this kid is. It would be like in the Museum of Natural History and stuff like that.
Oh no.
Where at least we know they're like
in the thing.
Yeah, everyone can break apart and look for these kids.
Oh no. See, when I was a counselor, I never lost a kid. I mean, it was just Lifetime, but we used to go on field trips on Wednesday. And never lost a kid. My group, or whatever, I always had the boys on field trips, which would be so irritating. But because the boys were so into being friends and stuff like that, I'd make them squad up. So that's what I call it. Be like, find 3 people that you're going to stay with the entire time. And then we're going to go room by room. And you guys can explore the room. And then when I say squad up, you all meet me in the middle with your squad. You're in charge of knowing where your squad member is at. I'm like, come up with squad names and everything. So they got real into it. So then all I had to do was be like, Turtle Squad, where you at? They're like, I'm right here. The person's right here. That person's right here. That person's right here. I'm like, great. So then I didn't have to do it. I just had to call squad, and then they all be there. But there was this one time, because at the end of the day in Lifetime, all those kids play in this like one room while their parents come to pick them up. And then there's always supposed to be a counselor working the check-in and check-out counter.
Yeah.
And then the other counselors are like cleaning up. Some people are leaving because we don't need to all be there as kids leave, because you need one person per every 10 kids. So one time it was my friend working the check-in counter or the checkout counter, and she wasn't like paying attention because she was watching another counselor play volleyball with one of the kids. And then a parent came in and she looked and she was like, oh, you need your ID, even though I know who you are. And she was like, oh, I forgot it in my car, let me go back. And she turned to her car to go get her ID, and her son saw her, and her son sprinted out the room. And since the counselor's back was turned towards the door, and the other counselor was cleaning, and the other counselor was playing volleyball, no one saw this kid run out the room. He was 5 years old, and he ran into the parking lot after his mom. And no one had checked him out, and cars were coming. And then the director of the camp found him. Like the director of, not even the director of the camp, like one of the managers of like the kids' activities in Lifetime, like the manager of Lifetime, found him, walked him back into camp, and was like, who let this kid out? The girl was fired on spot. It was so sad too, because there were 3 counselors in the room, and they were all like, well, she has to take the blame because she was the one working the desk. I was like, all 3 of you, and it wasn't even all new people. It was 2 people who had been like returning counselors, and the one person who was like the manager of the camp. All let that kid get out and run into the parking lot, and nobody noticed. I was like, how do you lose a kid within this thing?
How do we lose a kid getting on subway?
That makes more sense than losing a kid in the same building and just being like, oh, I'm just. And also one time this counselor left a girl in the bathroom. Because you had to take like 7 kids to the bathroom at a time. I think 7 to 10. No, 10 at the most. And she took 10 girls to the bathroom and came out with 9 girls, and I guess she didn't count. And then I was coming back from my lunch break. This little girl picked her head out of the locker room. She's like, Taylor, Taylor. And I was like, Ellie, what are you doing? She's like, the other Taylor left me in the bathroom, so I just decided to sit here and wait. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, no, here, I'll walk you back. So I walked her back into the room, and I was trying to tell her on the walk, I was like, you know, Miss Taylor didn't mean to forget you. Like, she probably just miscounted. How long were you in there? She was like, for like 15 minutes. And I was like, she was like, but it's no problem though. I'm fine, I'm fine. And I'm like, okay, so you're not gonna say anything, right? She's like, no. We walk in there, and in front of the manager, she goes to the other Taylor. She goes, you left me in the bathroom. You're a bad counselor. Then our manager walked over and was like, you left the kid in the bathroom? She's like, I didn't even, he was like, how did she even get here? I was like, she found me, so I just walked her in. Yay. People really be forgetting kids out here.
They do. If I forget a kid, it's probably just gonna be my own.
Don't say that.
I saw something on Twitter today. It was like a screenshot of a text message between like somebody's child and their mom. And the text like from the child was like, Mom, where are you? And the mom was like, just left Walmart, almost home. Why, what's up? And the kid was like, you took me to Walmart with you. And then she was like, oh, well, I'll be there in a few. Turning around now. That would be me.
Oh no.
You took me to Walmart with you.
That's sad. That's funny. But that's sad.
That would be me. But if it's someone else's kid, you know, I'm like, ugh. That's double the pressure.
I was about to say it's more pressure.
Yeah.
Your own kid, you'd be like, oh yeah, my kid. That's like people who leave their kids in the car. I don't think I could ever leave my kid in the car. But I don't know, people say when you get like really busy and you have,
and
especially
they're
if they're
quiet.
first kid and they're quiet, you just forget that they're in the car.
Hit the outro, sis. Why am I always doing your outro? My name's Lauren.
I'm Taylor. That's why I was doing your outro. Thank you guys for watching, because Lauren doesn't know how to make an outro. So here I am again. Thank you guys so much for watching our mukbang, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you subscribe to Lauren for more videos. She actually posts more regularly than I do. Maybe I'll start posting, so subscribe to me too. My links will be down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below, would you rather have Wataburger or Raising Canes, since they're both kind of southern things and you can find them in Texas. All right, bye. See, outro. See, outro. When you watch too much YouTube.